Well, the venue once again is the Thorpe St Peter track of the Wainfleet Club. The reason we're all here, as we know, it's the 2002 British Championships. Now this is the one that they all want to win. We've got a tremendous lineup as we would have expected. There's been 2 qualifying rounds, north and south, where the ACU have changed the format this year. There was some tough racing there, and qualifiers that got through those qualifiers into the main event know that it's been a hard route to get here. Now obviously all eyes on the solo field will be the competition between Kelvin Tatum, Joe Screen and perhaps Paul Hurry, perhaps Glen Cunningham. Well, it might be those 4 that lead the event, and we know that it's going to be a tough one to win between those 4 alone. Let's not write off any of the rest of the field though. There are some very, very quick youngsters about now, and it promises to be a great competition. In the sidecars, well, I think most of the conversation I've had with people this morning is everybody agrees that the British Masters this year is so open. It really could go to any one of those crews this year. They've got 4 qualifying heats to go through, the semi-finals and then a big final at the end of the day. It's points all the way through. Now they'll want to score maximum points in the heats to make sure that their points tally carries through all the way through to the end of the day. So it's going to be tough racing right from the very off. The track looks as if it's riding well, what we've seen in practice this morning. So let's hope that we do have a fantastic British Masters. We know that from last year everybody was so sorry that the event was called off due to a heavy rainstorm, and we ended up with 2 title holders in both classes. So in actual fact we've got 4 defending champions here this afternoon, and they'll all want to try and retain it. It all makes out to be a fantastic event, and as always with the British Masters, we know the competition's going to be tough. Promises to be a really exciting day.
Let's start right at the end of the line then with, in the solo competition, number 58, Mark Chilman. Next to Mark, we've got number 50, a very entertaining rider for sure, Phil Ambrose. Next to him, the youngster, 7 and row 7 in your program, Grant Ford. Rider number 12, and this is the one that I always manage to embarrass, the old campaigner himself, still going well, Trevor Banks. Number 42, and going well on the speedway circuits now, we expect a lot from him this afternoon. Number 42 is Glen Phillips. Number 8 from the southeast is Vince Kinchin, joined by a fellow rider from that part of the world on the modern machinery, Mitch Golden. Number 11, I'm sure a lot of support in this part of the world for this youngster, brilliant rider, number 11, Paul Cooper. Also from this part of the world, I'm expecting a lot of support from Ricky Scarborough. Number 74 is Scott Wilson. Number 29, great to see this guy back out there again. Number 29 is Paul Knott. Rider number 30, Alan Martin. Number 173, on the competition this afternoon, we see in action Neal Taylor. Number 95, also from the northern part of the country, we expect a lot from this guy, Jason Henley. Number 188, Mark Berry. Number 16, an invited foreigner for the event. Number 16, of course, Bob Dolman. Number 10, great to see him competing in the Masters again, Tony Atkin. Number 31, terrific rider last week with the Surrey Tonbridge. We expect more from him this afternoon, Richard Hall. Number 60 is Steve Green. You got one support, Steve. Rider number 3, John Pepper. Number 38, one of the youngsters that's going so brilliantly well at the moment, Jason King. Number 21, Daniel Winterburn. Number 34, hoping that he will get a ride. I think they can confirm he will get a ride this afternoon. Number 34, Steve Morris. Number 4, another one of the flying youngsters, Andrew Appleton. I don't know how to introduce his next rider to you. He's got number 1 on his plate. He is, of course, one of the defending champions, is Kelvin Tatum. Well, these really are the fast guns because we next move on to a previous Masters winner number 86, Hurry. And quite fittingly, joining next to them is number 5, the other joint representing the champion, Glen Cunningham. Number 17, the press have certainly tipped this man to be a spoiler this afternoon, Jason Green. All I know is Dave Ramsey. And last but by no means least to one of the ECU promoted team members, Greg Smith. Right, we move over to the Sidecar competitors. I think once we introduce the league guys, you'll realise what I was saying earlier on, that it's going to be a very, very tough competition. We start with number 148, Ryan Chris Winterburn. Defending champions from 2001, North Bradley, Kristen Winterburn. Number 26, course promoter of this event, and indeed hoping desperately to get right this afternoon. Number 26 is Greg Strack. Outfit number 184, enjoyed his speed this year, John Hiscock and Sidecar. Number 92, a Chinese passenger but still a very strong competitor, Whitelam's Kevin Jones. Number 18 is Paul Bickley and Paul Silvera.
Said he could do that.
Number 51 from Newton Abbott, a long journey to get up here. Great to see them riding Rick Corley and Phil Stoneman. Outfit number 9, passenger turned driver, Myles, Simmons and Dave Owen. Outfit number 183 is Ian Leavis and Paul Phillips. Outfit number 93, and they made their way through one of the qualifiers, Kenny Simmons and Darren Wills. Also coming through the qualifier, number 15, Ivor Matthews and Tony Myles. The other defending champion for 2001, that's outfit number 23, Gary Jackson and Carl Pugh. Outfit number 25, and I'm sure our local support for this one, 25 is Colin and Martin Bailey. Outfit number 50, seriously hoping that it will be right this afternoon. Number 50 is Ian McCauley and Mickey Bailey. Outfit number 4, and very proudly showing their Welsh origins, it's outfit number 4, Neal Owen and Dylan Davis. Number 5, the youngsters Matt Fumarola and Andy Wilson. Outfit number 17, this crew certainly can't forget about Elton here and thereabouts. Dave Sear and John Richards. Outfit number 60, winners of the Southern Qualifier making their way to the Masters this afternoon, Richard Thomas and Kevin Woodley.
You better say something nice about me.
Previous winners of the British Masters, John Halsey and Jason Manning.
Wait.
And last, but by no means least, the very colourful outfit of Paul Johnson and Jason Gill.
You said that last time. Right, to just do a personal interview about the donuts at Tonbridge.
Kelvin Tatum out for the first time in this first heat. So they break going into that first turn. I can see Kelvin Tatum's gone the wide line round the outside. He's right out there in the dirt, and he's got himself up to the front already. Dodgy moment for Paul Cooper there, but he's kept hold of the machine, and he slots back now into 4th place. But Kelvin Tatum, the early leader, stays out in front as they come down past us for the second time. Now being pursued by Richard Hall in 2nd spot. Andrew Appleton, number 4, I can see, has moved up into 3rd place in front of Paul Cooper, and it does look as if Richard Hall is going to push Kelvin Tatum all the way as he goes through on the inside of him. So a surprise in the first race of the day as Kelvin Tatum recovers and gets himself to the front, but he's gone very, very wide on that top end, and Richard Hall is there once again. Oh, that's a tremendous riding style from Richard Hall, as you can see him throw it into that bottom corner, leg trailing style, and there's problems for Kelvin Tatum by the look of it. Kelvin Tatum has pulled out at the bottom of the circuit. It means that he's not going to get any points from this first ride. The checker flag will go, and indeed the checker flag goes to number 31, Richard Hall. Andrew Appleton gets 2nd, Vince Kinchin in 3rd, and number 11, Paul Cooper in 4th place. So drama right at the start of the day. The defending champion, Kelvin Tatum, just pushes his machinery back into the pits. Well, push that machinery across the finishing line. If the finishing marshal can indicate to him, if he just pushes across the line, he will be credited with 7th place. So yes, there is a checkered flag there. He will get officially 7th place. So let's give you the official result then, because race 1 of the afternoon, heat 1, the first leg of the Masters Solo, a win for number 31, Richard Hall. In 2nd place, number 4, Andrew Appleton. In 3rd place, number 8, Vince Kinchin. 4th place, number 11, Paul Cooper. 5th place, number 60, Stephen Green. 6th place, number 58, Mark Chilman. And 7th place there, just pushing over the line, number 110, Dave Rumsey. 1:14.16 was the winning time, 1:14.16. So you should have 31, 4, 8, 11, 60, 58 and 110. Heat 2. And we've seen problems for Kelvin Tatum at the very start of the event. Start, but I think Jason Hanley is the rider that's made the best of it, and there's problems for Joe Screen. Joe Screen has slowed going up that first straight. He pulls off into the centre green, and in fact, can I see a red flag? Yes, I can see a red flag. So what I thought was a little bit of a ragged start, the clerk of the course not happy with as well. Mitch Godden, I can see, was effectively left on the line. It has just come, I think it has come on. He's trying to get the chain back on, I think. See the boots being put in to hopefully guide the chain back on. And in fact, machinery does look as if it's locked that back wheel up, so the chain well and truly locked in there. Now, has he got another machine? Is that the reason why he abandons the bike, leaves it with the marshal? We desperately look at that pit gate. There is another machine being brought out of the pits. It's working on that second machine. The rest of the riders patiently waiting on that start line on the fast. Again, it's the riders from the middle that have made the best of the starts. Mitch Godden goes to the front, but Joe Screen now comes through on the inside of him in that first turn. So, Mitch Godden still there in 2nd place. Jason Hanley forced to go very, very wide. He's on the outside of Mitch Garden, while those two scrapping out for second and third place. It is Joe Screen that's got away. Jason Hanley flies in the air in that pit bend. Again, he's been forced to go wide. Chases after Joe Screen as they go down that back straight. Mitch Garden's still right there with him, but it is Joe Screen who looks over his shoulder. Nobody's near him at the moment. He's the one who's setting the pace. Jason Hanley still there in second place, starting to sort themselves out of it now in the lower places. Mitch Garden still in third place. But this is a tremendous start from Joe Screen. Is he going to be the one that everybody's going to try and catch this afternoon? One more lap to go for his first completed ride. Oh, Daniel Winterburn it is that's in fourth place at the moment. Trevor Banks not looking happy with things at all as he pulls out. But the checkered flag is out there once again, and we see Joe Screen on one wheel crossing the line. Jason Hanley in second, Mitch Garden comes through for third place, and it is Daniel Winterburn that finishes in fourth. For the Masters solo, and a win for number 17, Joe Screen. In second place, number 95, Jason Hanley. Third place, number 9, Mitch Garden. Fourth place, 21, Daniel Winterburn. Fifth place, number 30. That's Alan Martin, and sixth place, very close on the line there between those two, number 18, Ricky Scarborough. In the winning time of 1:14.72, 1:14.72, so you should have for race 2, 17:95, 9, 21:30, and 18, 1:14.72 the time. Couple of changes in race 3. The alert ones amongst you might have spotted that they'd printed Alan Martin in twice, so he won't be going in heat 3. He's already had his ride in race 2, as you've just seen. The rider that was missed out was number 74, Scott Wilson. So cross out Alan Martin, add 74 Scott Wilson, and also no Trevor Eden. We knew that he'd pulled out before the meeting had started. As we get them underway, it is, I was about to say, Glen Cunningham's first ride. He also is the defending Masters champion. And as he comes round off that top turn, it is Glen Cunningham that's setting the pace. Neville Tatum is the rider that's in second spot. Well, I say he's in second. He's been pushed hard for that because I think that's Jason King that's moved through into second spot. And he really is promising to be a fantastic talent. Jason King, only just up from youth riding. And you can see in very good company here this afternoon. He's having an excellent ride. But at the moment, it's Glen Cunningham that's setting the pace. And perhaps interesting to watch the time for Glen in this first ride. He certainly looks comfortable enough. Under pressure now from Glen Phillips as Glen has moved through into second spot. Tries to pull away going up that back straight. And those three really have got away from the rest of the field as we see the checker flag out once again in race 3 for number 5, Glen Cunningham. Followed home in second by number 42, Glen Phillips. Third place, number 38, Jason King. In your programme, a win for rider number 5, Glen Cunningham. In second place, number 42, Glen Phillips. Third place, number 38, Jason King. Fourth place, number 74, Scott Wilson. Fifth place, number 2, Craig Smith. And sixth place, number 111, Neville Tatum. Seventh place goes to number 34, the replacement that's come in, Steve Morris. And winning time was 1:15.61, 1:15.61. So race 3 should read 5, 42, 38, 74, 2, 111 and 34. 1:15.61. Hurry. Tony Atkins, perhaps. Oh, they stream down that back straight. That is Paul Hurry that just noses in front as they go into the first turn. Tries to hold it up as he comes out of that first turn. He leads from Tony Atkin in second. That's Grant Ford in third place at the moment. Was edging for second place, but he's now been put back to third. But Tony Atkin trying to close down on Paul Hurry. He's setting the pace, looks over his shoulder once again. Tony Atkin does the same thing just as he comes out of that turn. Oh, John Pepper is the rider I can see trying to battle through for fourth place. Got to try and get that fourth from Paul Knott if he can, and indeed he does as he comes off that bottom turn. Still the battle rage at the back of the field for the lower places, but no problem for Paul Hurry at the moment. It looks like a very good start to the afternoon proceedings for Paul Hurry. Tony Atkins not be able to close that gap down at all. As the checkered flag is made ready, it's going to complete our lineup of Heat 1 winners with Paul Hurry crossing the line in his first ride. He takes the win. Tony Atkin finishing in second. Good ride from Grant Ford in third place. And Paul Knott does manage to get that fourth place. And a win for rider number 86, Paul Hurry. In second place, number 10, Tony Atkin. Third place, number 707, Grant Ford. In fourth place, number 29, Paul Knott. Fifth place, number 3, John Pepper. Sixth place, number 188, Mark Ferry. And seventh place, number 16, Bob Dolman. 1:15.52 was the winning time, 1:15.52. So you should have completing the first leg rides. Wins for Richard Hall, Joe Screen, Glen Cunningham and Paul Hurry. Over the page we go, and we start with the sidecars for the very first time this afternoon. As we get underway and looking to see who's made the best of the start. John Halsey on the inside, but it is Rob Bradley that's got the break as they go into that first turn. So defending champion Rob Bradley leads at the moment from a previous Masters winner John Halsey and Jason Glennie. Tristan Winterburn that are holding the lead from John Halsey and Jason Glennie. Richard Thomas and Kevin Woodley in third place at the moment. And look to be very comfortable at the moment. John Halsey and Jason Glennie desperately trying to stay with them. But it is 60, Richard Thomas and Kevin Woodley sitting in third place. Paul Whitelam and Kevin Jones in fourth. Very strung out, but no problems for Rob Bradley as he goes into the pit bend. He'll be pleased with this one for the first time, and there's problems for Richard Thomas. Richard Thomas slows in that third place. And in fact, he does look to have mechanical problems because Paul Bickley goes past him as he slows down in front of us. Well, he's fought his way through the qualifier won the qualifier, in fact, in the southern region. And very, very disappointing to pull out in his first ride. But no disappointment for Rob Bradley. He takes the win. John Halsey and Jason Glennie in second. And that's Paul Whitelam and Kevin Jones in third now. There's Paul Bickley and Paul Silvera finishing fourth. For the crew of number 60, Richard Thomas and Kevin Woodley, as they sadly are just pushing the bike off the circuit now. And as we give you the official result of race 5, it is a win for number 87, Rob Bradley and Tristan Winterburn. In second place, number 13, John Halsey and Jason Glennie. In third place, number 92, Paul Whitelam and Kevin Jones. In fourth place, number 18, Paul Bickley and Paul Silvera. In fifth place, number 4, Neal Owen and Dylan Davis. The winning time was 1:32.81, 1:32.81. And I think looking across at Richard Thomas and Kevin Woodley, they've obviously are conscious that this is a point-scoring event. And I just wonder whether they are attempting to push the machine around to the finishing line. It's a long, long way to go. So if they are attempting that, obviously plenty of encouragement from you down there on the outside of the pits, because they have got a long distance to travel. Pulled off into the centre green, and valuable assistance meets them in the middle there. So the pit box is opened once again as we now wait for the competitors for race 6 in your programme. It's heat 2 of the first leg. Down at the start line once again. This is race 6 in your programme as they get underway. All of them out for the first time this afternoon, and as they're coming together on the inside. Sorts of problems in the centre green, but the rest keep going. Now it's interesting to see whether there is going to be a red flag. In fact, there is. I thought that the 4 of them had got away, but perhaps the clerk of the course deciding that it was a starting incident. And there's problems for Rick McCauley as he looks to have lost his passenger. And in fact, that's Matt Fumarola, I should say. So Matt Fumarola in problems, losing Andy Wilson on the start line. Marshall's indicating to them that's exactly what's happened as we now stay with the race as it goes down the back straight. And it looks to me like Rob Winterburn has had the best of that first bend. He comes around the bottom corner leading from Andy Simons and Darren Wills in second place. Ian Lee Amos up in third. Colin Blackbourn in fourth place at the moment. And as they start the battle for that second place, Rob and Chris Winterburn making the best of this one as they go down the back straight. But watch the changes in second place, because number 93 Andy Simons and Darren Wills are being put under pressure from Ian Lee Amos and Paul Phillips. This is a good ride from Ian Lee Amos as he's forced to go wide once again. Looks for the way down the back straight. He'll be looking for a faster exit out of that top bend. Andy Simons, I think, has realised where the challenge is coming from. But again, he closes right up in the pit bend. He's got a much faster entrance into the bend, Ian Lee Amos. Absolutely filled in as he comes past us. And we're ripping the tear-offs off. And there's problems for Colin Blackbourn by the look of it. He coasts around that pit bend. But no problems at the moment for Rob and Chris Winterburn. Just the sort of start to the afternoon that they wanted. Still the battle rages for that second place. Can Ian Lee Amos and Paul Phillips get past number 93 Andy Simons and new passenger Darren Wills? Well, he's certainly making a bid for it once again as he gets into that pit bend. for the last time. It's going to be close as they come to the line. And in fact, Andy Simons hangs on. Well, in fact, Matt Fumarola has now appeared again, so he'll be trying to quickly get 4 laps under his belt. And I don't know whether any of you noticed, but they obviously felt that Rob and Chris Winterburn should do an extra lap. So he's let the whole lot of them go for 5 laps. And then Andy Simon's pointing that out to the finishing marshal, that he had to work extra hard for a 5th lap. And we can now see that the disappointment for Colin Blackbourn is that he lost a chain. So a rather eventful heat that turned out to be, and eventually we've got you an official result. It's a win for number 148, Rob and Chris Winterburn. Second place was number 93, Andy Simons and Darren Wills. In third place, number 183, Ely Amos and Paul Phillips. And that was the easy bit. We then had to work out how many laps the rest of them had done, and who was in front of who, and all the rest of it. It turns out that we've got a result of, in 4th place, number 51, Rick McCauley and Phil Stoneman. In 5th place, number 5, Matt Fumarola and Andy Wilson. And in 6th place, number 25, that's Colin Blackbourn and Martin Bailey. 1:56.21 was the official time, but of course they did 5 laps, so the clever ones amongst you can divide by 5 and multiply by 4, and you'll get a comparison time to the other heats. Just as I'm trying to work where the calculator is on the phone, I get the 3rd heat underway. So, we should see in this one another defending champion, Gary Jackson, and I can see that he's trying to push for the lead as he comes out of that first turn. It is Gary Jackson and Carl Pugh that get away going down that back straight. The battle on for second place at the moment. Myles Simmons going for the wide line. And I can see Paul Johnson trying to work his way through as well on the inside. It was John Hiscock that had the early lead. But he's now back in 4th place, and Ivor Matthews right back there in 5th spot at the moment. So one of the Masters tips for 2002 back in 4th place. But Paul Johnson has pulled out, and Ivor Matthews has now got himself up into 3rd. So this one changing as well, but Gary Jackson looks very comfortable out in front. Gary Jackson and Carl Pugh lead from Myles Simmons and passenger Dave Hogan. Good ride from them. They were another crew that had to fight their way through a qualifier, and they got themselves through in 3rd place from the Southern qualifier. But one more lap to go for the first time out this afternoon for Gary Jackson and Carl Pugh. Myles Simmons and Dave Hogan still in 2nd place, but they're now under pressure from Ivor Matthews. And Ivor Matthews getting closer and closer. Is he going to be able to make a challenge on the last bend? Oh, into that last bend we go, and Gary Jackson now can see the checkered flag, so he'll come past us very confidently indeed. That was a good ride, and it's going to be close for this 2nd place, but Myles Simmons just about hangs on. I thought he'd overcooked it coming out of that pit bend, but he's managed to stay there. Paul Johnson and Jason Gill, but an overall result of a win for outfit number 23, Gary Jackson and Carl Pugh. In 2nd place, number 9, Myles Simmons and Dave Hogan. In 3rd place, number 15, Ivor Matthews and Tony Myles. 4th place, number 184, John Hiscock and Simon Wall. And 5th place, number 17, Dave Steer and John Richards. 125.98 was the winning time, 125.98, 23, 9, 15, 184 and 17. Mitch Godden that's made the best of the starts. Jason Hanley is right there with him though as they go into that first turn. So only 5 competitors going as they break off that first turn. Here's number 95. Jason Hanley that's got the lead from number 9 in second place, Mitch Godden. Jason King is there in third place at the moment. And those three trying to pull away a bit as they go down the back straight. Jason Hanley, who had a second first time out, looks over his shoulder, looks very comfortable. Mitch Godden's under pressure from Jason King though, as Jason goes through in the second spot. Mitch trying to get it back again as they go into that bottom turn. But the big disappointment has got to be that there is no Kelvin Tatum. And I can only assume that he's aggravated old injury or something out there this afternoon. I've had no word from the pit, but certainly hasn't come out for his second ride. Pulled out of his first ride, of course. But I'm sure Jason Hanley and his pit crew won't mind as he comfortably leads now from Jason King in second place, Mitch Godden in third, and that's going to be how they cross the line because the checker flag is there. Jason Hanley gets his first win of the afternoon. Jason King is second, Mitch Godden in third. A time of 1:14.73. It was a win for number 95, Jason Hanley. In second spot, number 38, Jason King. In third place, number 9, Mitch Godden. Fourth place, number 29, Paul Knott. And fifth place, number 3, John Pepper. 1:14.73 was the winning time, 1:14.73. We're underway once again with race 9 in your programme. This is heat 2 of the second leg. And the rider we should be looking for, and straight away he gets himself to the front, is number 17, Joe Screen. He's got travel with this time, as Glen Phillips, number 42, is the closest rider to him in second spot. Oh, Joe Screen picks it up in the air as he goes up the back straight. He looks to be enjoying it this afternoon. A lot of the press were predicting this could be where the Master title is going this year, and it's certainly going that way at the moment. Joe Screen looks very, very comfortable indeed. You can see that we've lost one of our riders on the centre green. That's 111 Neville Tatum. Neville not happy with something as well as he pulls off into the centre green. But no problem at all at the moment for Joe Screen as he comfortably leads going around that bottom turn, up the back straight. He carefully looks over his shoulder once again. You can probably hear that there's a bike close to him, but it will be the checkered flag this time as he comes to the line. Picks the front wheel up just a little bit this time. Glen Phillips in second place. Away third place finish, and that's going to be number 74, Scott Wilson. For rider number 17, his second of the afternoon, Joe Screen. In second place, number 42, Glen Phillips. In third place, number 74, Scott Wilson. Fourth place, number 707, Grant Ford. And in fifth place, number 16, Bob Dolman. Sixth place goes to 188, Mark Ferry. And seventh place, number 58, Mark Chilman. 1:14.04 was the winning time, 1:14.04. 17, 42, 74, 707, 16, 188 and 58. So this promises to be the most interesting heat so far this afternoon. 3 Heat 1 winners go in race 10. That's Glen Cunningham, Richard Hall and Paul Hurry. They're joined by Vince Kinchin, Neal Taylor, Steve Green, Ricky Scarborough and Dave Rumsey. Start line, Glen Cunningham's made a very good start. Richard Hall is back a little bit, but Glen Cunningham's got Paul Hurry going around the outside of him now as they go into the first turn. So these two battling out as they come out of the first turn. Vince Kinchin's up in third place, Richard Hall in fourth. But it's all about these front two at the moment. Paul Hurry and Glen Cunningham, both with heat wins first time out. And it's Paul Hurry that looks to be having the better of it at the moment. Glen Cunningham trying not to let him get away from him as he goes into that top turn for the second time. But Paul Hurry looking very, very solid. Glen Cunningham still not out of contention though, it's got to be said. He's still no more than about 3 bike lengths away. They'll be watching every move that Paul Hurry makes. Tries to close going into that top turn as you can see. But with one more lap to go, has he got enough time to close the gap and make a passing move? Paul Hurry very conscious of the fact that he knows that Cunningham is there now. He'll try and keep it on a tight line, but equally a fast line as he goes up the back straight. That's where he seems to get the advantage. Glen seems to close coming into the turn, but Paul Hurry looks to have done enough as he comes towards the checkered flag. He takes his second win of the afternoon. Glen Cunningham in second, Vince Kinchin in third, and Richard Hall in fourth. Chance to see 3 previous heat winners out together. Getting the best of it at the end was number 86 in first place, Paul Hurry. In second place, number 5, Glen Cunningham. Third place, number 8, Vince Kinchin. Fourth place, number 31, Richard Hall. Fifth place, number 18, Ricky Scarborough. Sixth place, number 60, Stephen Green. And seventh place, number 110, Dave Rumsey. Eighth place finisher, number 173, Neal Taylor. And the winning time, 114.74. 114.74. In actual fact, so we'll see what happens as they go down the first straight for the first time in race 11 as they come off that first turn. Select on the start, number 4, Andrew Appleton. Tony Atkin is there with him though, as those two go into that pit bend for the first time. Tony goes very, very wide, allowing the rest of the riders to get advantage on him, but he still hangs on to second place. And meanwhile, while he's contending with the challenges from third and fourth, it is Andrew Appleton that's got away. So, building on his second place first time out, Andrew Appleton having a good ride at the moment. Paul Cooper is up there in third spot. Desperately won't want Tony Atkin to get away from him, but they're certainly getting very spread out now as we got one more lap to go in race 11. It's a good ride, second time out for Andrew Appleton. Tony Atkin still there in second place. Paul Cooper still holding third. They're all beginning to look over their shoulders. Into the checker flag they'll come. This will complete all the second leg rides as Andrew Appleton takes the checker flag. His first win of the afternoon. Tony Atkin in second. Paul Cooper in third. And Trevor Banks in fourth. Heat 4 of the second leg rides in the Masters Solo for 2002. A win for number 4, Andrew Appleton. In second place, number 10, Tony Atkin. In third place, number 11, Paul Cooper. Fourth place, number 12, Trevor Banks. Fifth place, number 21, Daniel Winterburn. Sixth place, number 30, Alan Martin. Seventh place, number 2, Craig Smith. And eighth place, number 34, Steve Morris. The winning time, 1:15.58. 1:15.58. Gary Jackson's made a good one on the inside. Richard Thomas has gone with him, and it is Richard Thomas that's perhaps got to the front as they go into that first turn, but it all changes in the middle of that bend as Gary Jackson has worked his way through. Ivor Matthews tries to follow him and comes out of the bend in second place. Andy Simons is the rider that's gone wide. Richard Thomas realises that as well as he follows Ivor Matthews through, and that's the 1-2-3 at the moment. Gary Jackson and Carl Pugh, Ivor Matthews and Tony Myles in second, Richard Thomas, Kevin Woodley in third, Andy Simons and Darren Wills in that fourth spot. They've started to get a bit spread out. Gary Jackson does look very, very comfortable this afternoon. Drifts into that bottom bend. He picks the power up just as he comes off that bend. You can see all times trying to keep that sidecar wheel just touching the ground. Ivor Matthews is close to him, but can't see where a challenge is going to come from at the moment. It's as much as Ivor can do to try and just keep with Gary Jackson, let alone pass him, as he really does look very, very quick indeed. Looks over his shoulder even in that bottom bend. Realises now that it is Ivor Matthews that's in close contention. Just wonder whether there is going to be a challenge, because he's certainly a lot closer this time. Now, can he get the speed down the back straight to make a charge on this bottom turn? Gary Jackson, I think, is conscious of it, so he's pulled away again. Goes into the bottom turn, looking very comfortable indeed. He's made it 2 out of 2 as he crosses the line. Ivor Matthews with a much better result this time finishes in second. Richard Thomas getting his first points on the board for third place. For outfit number 23, Gary Jackson and Carl Pugh. In second place, number 15, Ivor Matthews and Tony Myles. Third place goes to number 60, Richard Thomas and Kevin Woodley. And fourth place, number 93, Andy Simons and Darren Wills. Fifth place, number 4, Neal Owen and Dylan Davis. And sixth place, number 51, Rick McCauley and Phil Stoneman. Winning time was 1:31.74, so that's the time set in the first heat of the second leg. We'll watch to see how the others compare to it as we now look for race 13, when we see out for the second time Rob Bradley and Tristan Winterburn, who had a win. Well, I'm sure a lot of you realised it, but I've just had a look down the pits and I thought, why am I talking about Matt Fumarola, Dave Steer and all that lot when that's race 14 in the programme? Before that, we've got race 13 to come out. My apologies, but we do have a first leg winner, and that's Rob Bradley and Tristan Winterburn. Move away and up go the tapes, and as we get underway it's Paul Whitelam that's made the best of the starts. Myles Simmons and John Hiscock on the inside of him. Myles Simmons has got that second place, but down the back straight, pushing for the lead in fact as Myles Simmons goes through and gets to the front. Paul Whitelam had a little bit of a poor moment there as he came into that bottom turn. He left a big gap and Myles Simmons said thank you very much, but he's responded again and he's got that lead back. So the two of them together as they go around that top turn. Paul Whitelam and Kevin Jones got the lead back. Now this is where they made the error before. You'll know that he might have a chance. In fact, it's Rob Bradley that I perhaps should be looking at, because he's back in third place at the moment. Fighting, in fact, with John Hiscock and Simon Wall. So we are perhaps going to see points dropped here from the heat winners of the first leg. And this is a very, very good ride for Paul Whitelam and Kevin Jones. Myles Simmons again tries to attack, but no way through, or is there? He's closer this time as he goes down the back straight, looking for a way through. Rob Bradley much closer to them as well now, as it will be the checker flag this time as they come towards me, and Myles Simmons has got the line on the inside. It's going to be close, and he just gets it, I think. Well, a tremendous finish there from Myles Simmons and Dave Hogan. They took a chance, pushed hard, kept it tight on the exit, and then it was a race to the line. So, while the discussion goes on to my right between all the finishing people, we'll give you the official result in a few minutes. And the decision made, it's a win in race 13 for outfit number 9, Myles Simmons and Dave Hogan. In second place, number 92, Paul Whitelam and Kevin Jones. In third place, number 87, Rob Bradley and Tristan Winterburn. In fourth place, number 25, Colin Blackbourn and Martin Bailey. In fifth place, number 184, John Hiscock and Simon Wall. Sixth place, number 18, Paul Bickley, Paul Silvera. The winning time, 1:33.79, 1:33.79. So a very, very close finish, but maximum points to number 9, Myles Simmons, to add to his second place first time out. So race 14 it is that's underway, and as they come past me for the first time, looking to see who's got the early lead, it is with Rob and Chris Winterburn as they go into that first turn. John Halsey and Jason Glennie holding second to them at the moment. They chase them down the back straight. Paul Johnson has got up into third. Matt Fumarola wants some of that though as he goes round the outside of Paul Johnson to get himself up into third place. But the lead with the outfit that had a win first time out, that's Rob and Chris Winterburn. Under pressure now from John Halsey, who's looking for a wide entrance into the bend. It'll mean he'll keep the speed on and attack down that back straight. Rob and Chris Winterburn try to cut back underneath them again, but it is John Halsey that's got it. John Halsey with the lead. Paul Johnson still there in third place, closing up now on Rob and Chris Winterburn. The battle's going on for fourth place between Matt Fumarola and Dave Steer. But this has been a good ride for John Halsey and Jason Glennie, who of course had a second place first time out. Paul Johnson, who pulled out with problems in his first ride, having a much better ride this time in third place. Disappointment for Ian Amos and Paul Phillips at the back at the moment. They had a very good ride first time and a real battle to get a third place. But as the checkered flag goes, it's going to be first win of the afternoon for John Halsey and Jason Glennie. In for number 13, John Halsey and Jason Glennie. In second place, number 148, Rob Winterburn and Chris Winterburn. In third place, number 7, Paul Johnson and Jason Gill. In fourth place, number 5, Matt Fumarola and Andy Wilson. In fifth place, number 17, Dave Steer and John Richards. And in sixth place, number 183, Ian Amos and Paul Phillips. 1:32.13 was the winning time. 1:32.13 as we now go over the page and return to the solo class, out for the third time this afternoon. The situation with the solos at the moment: Joe Screen and Paul Hurry, both with maximum points, 2 rides and 2 wins. So let's look for them, and in fact, isn't that ironic as I say that, because I've just spotted them both in race 16. Glen Phillips has been scoring consistently. He's had 2 seconds. Tony Atkin also with 2 seconds. But there's still a long way to go. The a rather depleted field. We've got 5 riders that get away and into that first turn. It is Glen Cunningham that's got the best of the starts, and as he goes very, very wide, Atkin is trying to come through on the inside of him. Just checking exactly who we've got. We certainly have got Glen Cunningham and Tony Atkin out there. Those two have got away from the rest of the field. Tony Atkin with head down chases after Glen Cunningham. Bob Dolman's there, Craig Smith is there, and Glen Phillips. So we heard that Thomas Cooper unfortunately has had engine problems. So his first time in the British Masters, ending up with a great disappointment having to pull out. And Bob Dolman now getting in front of Glen Phillips. Glen Phillips tries to come back at him for that third place. There's a bit of a battle going on there for that third spot. Glen Phillips looks to have the better of it now, but Bob Dolman is certainly a rider that will never give up until the checker flag goes. Glen Cunningham gets another win. Tony Atkin in second, Glen Cunningham in third, and Bob Dolman in fourth. Finishing a win for number 5, Glen Cunningham. In second place, number 10, Tony Atkin. Third place, number 42, Glen Phillips. Fourth place, number 16, Bob Dolman. Fifth place, number 2, Craig Smith. And the winning time, 1:15.56. 1:15.56 the winning time. 5:10, 42, 16 and 2. And a second, Mitch Godden, Paul Cooper, Daniel Winterburn and Dave Rumsey. Those two that are broken together, they're wheel for wheel as they go up the back straight. Paul Hurry just gets the advantage going into the turn. Mitch Gordon is there in third place, battling with Jason King for that. But it's those two out in front that we expect it to be. Paul Hurry and Joe Screen. Paul Hurry with the advantage at the moment. Joe Screen chases him into the bottom turn, looking for a line to get the advantage and get through. Mitch Gordon still there in third spot. But all eyes, I'm sure, on these front two as Paul Hurry looks to have the better of it at the moment. He's got a very, very good line round this top bend. Joe Screen can do nothing about it at the moment, but he's staying there with him. Paul Cooper now trying to close on Mitch Godden to get that third place perhaps, but all eyes, I'm sure, are on those front two. Can Paul Hurry hang on? Can Joe Screen do anything about it? Into the top turn they go once again. Very quickly we're into the last lap, and Paul Hurry looks very comfortable with Joe Screen. Of course, won't push his luck too much. He knows that he's certainly not out of contention with the second place, but look how he closes going up the back straight. He's going to make a challenge on the last turn, as indeed the checkered flag goes. And as they come towards me, you can see Joe Screen on the inside, and Paul Hurry's got problems. Paul Hurry slowed as he came out of the bend, and Joe Screen has just grabbed it on the line. Well, I was just saying that I didn't think Joe Screen was going to push it because he knows they come up against each other later on in the semis or even the final. But so as we now watch for Mitch Godden to come round, taking a tumble on that bottom turn, pleased to see that he got back up and got himself a finish. The clash of the big guns in Heat 2, Leg 3 for the Masters Solo, and all sorts of drama on the line as we get an eventual win for number 17, Joe Screen. In second place, number 86, Paul Hurry. Third place, number 11, Paul Cooper. Fourth place, number 38, Jason King. Fifth place, number 21, Daniel Winterburn. Sixth place, 110, Dave Rumsey. Seventh place, 34, Steve Morris. And eighth place, number 9, Mitch Godden. 1:13.02 was the winning time. 1:13.02, 17, 86, 11, 38, 21, 110 and 34. And not forgetting 9 in 8th place. 113.02. So, race 17 it is, and this one promises to be an interesting one because Andrew Appleton has been going well this afternoon. Richard Hall had a win first time out. And as they're underway, I'm looking to see who's made the best of the starts as they go into that first turn. Coming around towards me. Oh, I've got Richard Hall very, very wide indeed. On the inside is Andrew Appleton. Ricky Scarborough is up there with them as well, but it is Richard Hall that's certainly the dramatic rider that's going very, very wide with that beautiful leg trailing action. But Andrew Appleton riding a much more controlled line on the inside. He's got the better of it, but you can see now that Richard Hall has swapped lines. He's gone in a lot tighter into that top turn. Ricky Scarborough still there comfortably in 3rd place. But Andrew Appleton, who's had so far this afternoon a win and a 2nd place, so he's certainly going to be right up there amongst the top contenders. Phillips. One more lap to go for Andrew in this one. Richard Hall still desperately fighting in that 2nd place, but he doesn't look to be able to gain on Andrew Appleton as they go up the back straight, and it will be into the last turn. Checker flag is being made ready, and it is Andrew Appleton that gets his 2nd win this afternoon. Add to a 2nd place as well. Right up there amongst the top point scorers. Rider number 4, Andrew Appleton. In 2nd place, number 31, Richard Hall. In 3rd place, number 18, Ricky Scarborough. 4th place, number 12, Trevor Banks. 5th place, number 29, Paul Knott. 6th place, number 30, Alan Martin. And 7th place, number 3, John Pepper. 1:15.30 was the winning time, 1:15.30, 4, 31, 18, 12, 29, 30 and 3. That's how they finished, as we've got just one more heat to go in the Masters Solo 3rd leg. And who should we be looking for? Well, Jason Handley has had a win and a 2nd. Underway, looking for Jason Handley to make the break as they go into that first turn. It is Handley that's got there, and he tries to use the advantage. Kinchin's gone very, very wide. Scott Wilson, Vince Kinchin still going very, very wide, trying to get around the outside of, if not 1, 2 riders at the same time. He gets them both. Oh, there's all sorts of problems for Scott Wilson, but he hung on to that brilliantly. And indeed, I don't think he's lost too much either. He's got Vince Kinchin that has gone through to get up into 2nd place. But he brilliantly held on to that machine as it bucked and rocked as he went into that top turn. And we suspect that he's lost his steel shoe, so he'll have to adopt a leg trailing action for the rest of the race. May slow him down. He's under pressure from Garant Ford at the moment. And Garant, who's had some very good rides earlier on, pushes for that 3rd place. But let's not take our attention away from the leader, Jason Handley. That's exactly what he wanted to do as he goes over the line. takes maximum points from his third ride. Vince Kinchin in second. Good ride from Scott Wilson in third. Durant Ford in fourth. And finishing in fifth is Stephen Green. Win in race 18 for number 95, Jason Handley. In second place, number 8, Vince Kinchin. In third place, number 74, Scott Wilson. Fourth place, number 707, Durant Ford. In fifth place, number 60, Stephen Green. And sixth place, number 58, Mark Chilman. 1:15.37 was the winning time. 1:15.37, 95, 8, 74, 707, 60 and 58. Well, it's certainly, as it is in the solo class, still very, very close in the sidecar class as well. If we look at race 19, Rob Bradley has 11 points with a first and a third. Rob Winterburn and Chris Winterburn have a first and a second. They're on 12 points. Ivor Matthews on 9 points with a third and a second, so he desperately needs to get a win. We get underway with the first of the third leg rides for the sidecars, and who's made the best of the starts? I can see right on the inside Rob Bradley, but it is Rob and Chris Winterburn with Ivor Matthews on the outside of them as they come round that top. Myles Simmons out of contention at the moment in fourth place. He's got a lot of work to do if he's going to score good points in this, his third ride. As again he gets very, very close at the front. Ivor Matthews knows he needs a win, knows he needs to get back in contention with the top runners, pushing every inch of the way, looking for a way through. Rob and Chris Winterburn responding though, and they hold the lead still from Ivor Matthews, who again has gone very, very tight. He's looking for a much tighter line in that top bend. He's trying to tempt Rob to go out wide, and indeed he's done exactly that. Now Rob gets the speed going down the back straight though. Has Ivor got enough room to come through? Indeed he has. Now again as he overcooks it, can Rob and Chris Winterburn get back underneath him on the exit? They certainly can't, as indeed Rob Bradley has closed up now, and Rob Bradley starts to push hard on that second place. Ian Amos has worked his way through in front of Myles Simmons, so it's all changing this one as we watch them go down the back straight. Myles Simmons comes back at Ian Amos to get himself up into that fourth spot. But I expected him to be up the front there fighting with these top point scorers. As the checkered flag goes, Ivor Matthews and Tony Myles get their first win of the afternoon. Rob and Chris Winterburn in second, Rob Bradley and Tristan Winterburn in third. Did a few of the points out. Race 19 it was. It was a win for outfit number 15, so maximum points to Ivor Matthews and Tony Myles. In second place, number 148, Rob and Chris Winterburn. In third place, number 87, Rob Bradley and Tristan Winterburn. In fourth place, number 9, Myles Simmons and Dave Hogan. Fifth place, number 183, Ian Lee Amos and Paul Phillips. And sixth place, number 4, Neal Owen and Dylan Davis. 131.59, 131.59, 15, 148, 87, 9, 183 and 4. Race 19 into the overall list. And it certainly puts a bit of interest on race 20, because they really have taken points off each other there, with Ivor Matthews and Tony Myles getting that win. Challenger, but as they get underway, He's got a lot of work to do because John Halsey is back down the field. It is Gary Jackson that's got to the front. Paul Whitelam is the rider in second spot at the moment. He was in a similar position as Ivor Matthews, that he'd had a third and a second. And as they start to sort themselves out, John Halsey has done well to get up into third place. If he's going to make any sort of challenge on John Hiscock, he's got to quickly get past Paul Whitelam, and he does that in that top bend. And now the chase is on. John Halsey chasing after Gary Jackson, who's looking very, very comfortable this afternoon. He's the only outfit that's had 2 rides and 2 wins. And of course you do get the 2-point advantage for a win. So John Halsey knows that he's got to go after him. He closes the gap as he goes round that top bend, charges down the back straight. Carl pulling off the back of that machine, trying to get maximum drive down that back straight. Keep the speed up. Knock the throttle off as they go into that pit bend. Keep the bike tight. No way through for anybody behind you. But John Halsey knows all about that at the moment as he tries to close. Andy Simons and Darren Wills closing up on Paul Whitelam for that third place. A battle still on for that, but as we look to the front, Gary Jackson very much in control as he comes off that pit bend and towards the checker flag, and that's how it's going to finish. Gary Jackson gets the win. John Halsey and Jason Glennie in second, Paul Whitelam in third, Andy Simons in fourth. 20 was in your programme, and it was yet another win for outfit number 23, Gary Jackson and Carl Pugh. That makes it 3 out of 3. In second place, number 13, John Halsey and Jason Glennie. In third place, number 92, Paul Whitelam and Kevin Jones. In fourth place, number 93, Andy Simons and Darren Wills. In fifth place, number 184, John Hiscock and Simon Wall. In sixth place, number 17, Dave Steer and John Richards. And a winning time, 130.71. 130.71.